understand that leaving the house every now and then and going to have to happen.
The message from BC's top health officer: social distancing is hard, but necessary.
This is what we need to do to stop this virus from having the impact many other countries around the world.
Hope the social distancing message will take hold, so questions like this prompt a different answer.
You worried about how close everyone is together in there?
No. To protect our health and those of our loved ones.
19 is forcing us all to change ways, and for many people, that's a huge adjustment. If you work in a restaurant, drive a cab, organize events, or freelance to pay your bills, working from home is not so simple. Just like if you work in the oil and gas sector or the tourism and seafood industries, you're looking at the uncertainty in the global economy, probably wondering not only how long this is going to last, but how long your savings are going to last. No matter who.
That's the problem. My ex would always mention people didn't have savings. Yeah, I taught him how to save. Yeah, for a house.
Or what you do, this is a time where you should be focused on your health and that of your neighbors, or you're going to lose your job. Not whether you're going to run out of money for things like groceries and medication. Last week, we announced a whole range of measures to protect jobs, small businesses, and the economy. From waiving the waiting period for employment insurance, sickness benefits to kick in, to increasing support for employers and businesses.
New regulations.
What we're going to be doing is simply for the statewide floor for beaches is applying the CDC guidance of no group on a beach more than 10, and you have to have distance apart if you're going to be out there.
And what many people here are wondering is how keeping people separated and in groups of 10 or less is going to be regulated.
I mean, it's spring break. I mean, we're all out here in big groups and stuff. I think they're going to have a hard time trying to split everybody up.
And a mass exodus of people want to come down to the beach. Like, they're going to come to the beach.
I've had problems, so if I got it, I'd have trouble.
Anything, if you got a chest infection, it could have killed you. If you got this, it could have killed you. Is it hard for leaders to just say that, hey, you were already like on death's door, man. This thing's just going to take you out. Does it make the messaging harder? Because it sometimes feels like as leaders, you guys have to be like, look, I mean, maybe there's some of you just. Whereas I know you can't say it, but it would be gangster if you guys could just come out and say like, if you were going to die, you were going to die.
I'm still here. I want to be here. So the governor and the city and everybody's going to do what they got to do. And we'll get through it, but it's going to be...
Their plan is to educate people prior to enforcement.
The only good news is I'm still here. I want to be here.
And Corona is just like making that happen.
Absolutely not okay. And a mass exodus of people want to come down to the beach. Like, they're going to come to the beach.
So I think now, today, the G7 leader will organize a conference call, and this is very important, because the plan in Italy, we can improve, of course, but the problem is not simply Italy. The problem, unfortunately, is the war. And that my suggestion is use the technology. Because example of South Korea's reaction is very good. Yeah. They use the mobile to check every infected people and use big data and artificial intelligence to create a strategy of contest. Difficulty is to block the sport, to block soccer in Italy or all the sport around the world. But this is the priority. The second point is use technology, because we can track all the people who have problem. And the third, of course, is thinking about recovery in economy for the next months and the next years.
You are saying this is a warning. Does that mean you've learned the lesson because Italy failed?
I think of course, Italy decided at the beginning to block the direct planes from China to Milano and Roma. And that gave to us the idea, okay, we block the direct plane. Unfortunately, we didn't block that. And now we became the...
Matteo Renzi.
But in 10 days, life will be no more like this.
Non sono in vena, chi è là? La donna. Sente male, impallidisce, il respiro quelle scale, ed ora come faccio?
Stati Uniti preoccupanti di persone che stanno prendendo sotto gamba la cosa, è un problema più serio di quello che gran parte del mondo crede.
Non è pessimismo cosmico.
Quello che sta succedendo è molto più grave di quello che ti immaginavi. Tu capirai che solo il fatto di poter respirare anche solo l'aria di casa tua, insomma è già una grandissima cosa.
So che la Cina è lontana, ma il virus è più veloce di quanto credi, quindi rivedi un attimo i tuoi programmi del sabato sera e che ne sai che magari...
Oh my god, he did it.
Well, China was putting out information which was false, that our military gave this to them. That was false. And rather than having an argument...
You and China are the same then.
Where it came from. It did come from China. So I think it's a very accurate term. But no, I didn't appreciate the fact that China was saying that our military gave it to them. Our military did not give it to anybody.
Oh my god. Are they all motherfucking idiots? You're still standing too close.
No, I don't.
But you have no fear because you are covered, right?
Gave it to them. Creates a stigma.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
Number of lives. Everything else is going to come back. A life is never going to come back. But everything else, our economy is going to come. We all know that day. All of a sudden...
Yes, now is the time to implement these much more stringent social distancing measures.
No, I don't think so. This is where we were going. I really think from the beginning, this is where we were going. This is what we had in mind. We're just going step by step. That was the next step, the next logical step.
What are you talking about?
One of the most important things when you write the history of this was the fact that we closed it down to China and Europe, but in particular China.
That's not history.
Very early. What I'm doing, John, is very simple. We're getting rid of this virus. That's what we're doing. That's the best thing we can do. By the way, for the markets, for everything, it's very simple.
You're denial.
We don't want to be there. Rid of the virus. Once that's gone.
How many new hospital facilities could the Army Corps of Engineers build? And also, what specific measures are you taking to try to increase the number of ventilators in the stockpile?
Right, we've ordered massive numbers of ventilators. We have, by any normal standards, we have a lot of respirators, ventilators. We have tremendous amounts of equipment, but the governor has the right to go order directly if they want, if they feel they can do it faster. Now, we've knocked out all of the bureaucracy. It's very direct, but it's still always faster to order.
That's not, you're the fucking federal government with access to bazillions of dollars.
Very important. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to know, have you taken a look at some of these models, such as the Imperial College London model, that kind of poses a very difficult choice, whether it's shutting down society or overwhelming the healthcare system?
We've looked at every model. We've relied on the very talented people, and there's no better team than the people in touch with and everybody that you've been many different models and
break this fucking shit up.